Myron Games from the Fresh and Fit podcast is receiving backlash for his recent comments in regards to the late Kevin Samuels. I want to give you guys my perspective. Kevin is not here right now to speak out for or defend himself. So I'm going to give my perspective of the reality of the conversation because history will not be revised on my watch. The truth will be accurate. So let's talk about it. Without further ado, for quick context, this is a live stream conversation on the Fresh and Fit platform. There was a bunch of content creators up there. They were talking about the fall of the manosphere and solutions for it, but there was also a specific topic about the Black manosphere. Myron postures something in regards to Kevin. Let's watch.
One thing, right? And I really dislike to even say this, but the truth is the truth, and I kind of had to say it. The reason why the Black manosphere died, right, is simply because Kevin Samuels didn't put his people on.
The reason that an entire community of content creators or things that they talk about died is because the man that was seen as the head of it didn't put his people on. Let's listen a little bit more.
I'm going to be honest about it. He became famous. He blew up. He didn't, extend the ladder back and put his guys on, and it died. That's just what happened.
Sure.
Once he got into the mainstream, he didn't bring anybody up with him. And that's the cold hard truth. I hate to say that shit, but it's
wild.
The truth. And for us, we adopted a little bit of different mindset where we're gonna blow up and we're gonna bring everybody up that came alongside us. And
I'm gonna let him speak, but understand the context of the conversation. This is not, they were friends and they were collaborators and they were planning on doing good work in the future. They were ops. Kevin did not bang with the Fresh and Fit platform, and Fresh and Fit did not bang with Kevin. Now, to get into the history of why that happened, we don't have time here within the scope of this conversation, within the content, because I want to address his specific points about it all falling and crumbling because Kevin did nothing to bring others up with him, which is categorically incorrect. But it's not coming from a perspective of friendship. They were ops. They were not cool. And in fact, Kevin was creating studios down in Miami to directly compete with Fresh and Fit. But let's hear a little bit more of his thoughts and then let's get back active.
I've seen, everyone go off on their own and, build really successful independent channels. Everyone here is well over 100,000 where, before that was unheard of in the manosphere.
Now, what's interesting is that he talks ill of Kevin of not bringing other content creators forward, but you just said that there's other content creators that are tied to you that have independently built up their own platforms. Now, would you be pulling people on your platform, Myron, if they haven't individually built up a community of people beforehand? Would you or would you not? Let's keep going.
Right. So I think from this point forward, right, sticking together and doing periodic podcasts like this where guys are able to comment on culture, current events, etc., because things are changing rapidly. Every year, something new is going on, right? 2020, it was a TikTok boom. 2021, it was a pandemic and dealing with that. 2022, Trump is going to run again. Every year there's a new thing going on. And the thing is with the red pill, it's not just women. It's the truth in general, right? You can apply it to so many different endeavors. So that's what I noticed was, the one thing on the Kevin Samuels legacy that I wish he did was put on his people. And he simply didn't.
It's absolutely wild to me that no one is up here challenging the things that he's saying in order to give perhaps a different perspective. But I think that there's incentives not to. And this is actually part of the reason of why I try to keep to myself as much as possible and just create. Because I actually agree with Myron there when he's talking about that there's a lot of things changing. We need community. We need a team. Absolutely. But I do think as a content creator that there's inherent bias for you to not speak up or against someone that you collaborate with if you vehemently disagree with the bullshit, or at least not publicly address it. But now your image gets caught up in the things that they are saying, just like the images of everyone up here is being caught up for not calling out or chastising the things that he is saying. Nevertheless, let's address the elephant in the room, being that Kevin did nothing to bring back up others up on his platform is categorically untrue. I won't even speak about all the content creators, at least right now, that he spoke about, but let's just take me for an example. Kevin shouted me out on his platform an uncountable amount of times, and in fact, you're gonna see comments right below this video of people saying that they found my channel out after watching KS. And I never asked for a shout out. I never paid for him to mention me or anything odd like that. It all just came from him understanding my brand, what it was that I was trying to offer from a entertainment or education perspective, and he decided to call me out. Also, let me bring this up as well. He actually had a whole stream where the name of my channel was the topic. Let me bring it up. For all of those that may forgot, this is actually still active on his channel, but he called the stream Mediocre at best. Sound familiar? And while obviously this is a play off of his average at best viral video, he utilized first name on my channel and was quoted multiple times within this saying that modern women today might need some mediocre tutorials and reviews. And I even said it down up in here. You'll see this comment from 3 years ago. Fantastic stream. And I appreciate the references. Shout out to the Godfather. And what you guys don't know about this is that Kevin actually reached out to me via DMs. It was one of the first times that he ever reached out to me. And he said, hey, I want to use your title name within a stream tonight. You cool with that? And at the time I was like, hell yeah, if you want to utilize my ish. I throw it up on stream right now, but I think it'd be tacky for me to show DMs between Kevin and I during that time. But he ain't have to do this. He ain't have to leave my comment out for people to go up, click on my profile and see what I am about. Shit, he also shouted me out when I had cancer. And he ensured that when he wanted to reach back to work with others to continue on pushing the brand forward, to get it in front of people's eyes that would not normally look at this content, he did. I have content with Kevin that's on the channel. Shit, he planned an entire trip where we went to Brooklyn to go visit the Zuniga brothers in order to look at their operations. Because the things that the Teaching Men's Fashion brothers are doing for their community, the Latino community, is absolutely insane. So to be able to leverage what they have created as a byproduct of what can be created for majority Black audience, he was getting us in front of those people to learn. And I appreciated him for that. Opening up an opportunity to be able to learn and informing the beginnings of a team in order to try to help push these ideologies forward that were not brand risk. And there's so many other things that I could mention, but it wasn't just me either. Shout out to the lead attorney, who not only did a one-on-one conversation with Kevin that Kevin posted to his channel, but similar to me, Kevin would often call TLA just to have conversations about the things that are happening within the space. So no, Myron, there were content creators that he selected to bring forward. It just wasn't you. But there were those that he did associate with within his past that just weren't ready, or they did not have the appropriate professional image to carry the torch forward. That may be hard for you to understand, but apparently after looking at the history of what's happened over the past 2.5 years since he's passed, Kevin was absolutely correct. The people that were seen as the leaders of this movement have appropriately squandered whatever listening ears that we would have had in order to really impact change. And I'm not trying to say that I've been done the best at it myself, but I guarantee you, if Kevin was still alive, his channel would still be monetized. Shit, it's still monetized right now. And it's because the way that he did it with that degree of professionalism. If you take a look at, for example, outside of all of this, if you try to capture an audience and you have more of a Jerry Springer-esque, or what can be described as that, as the way that you do content, via you have like, let's say a Judge Judy, and let's say that the goal of each of those is to do DNA tests, where you're gonna get a lot different audience if you do it in a Jerry Springer fashion as opposed to a Judge Judy fashion. Different type of audience, different type of listening ears, different type of ad sponsors. To introduce something as robust as what Kevin was attempting to introduce, you have to be surgical. You can't go in like an atom bomb in the mainstream and act like that's going to be the way to really impact change. No, it has to be surgical. Kevin understood that.
He simply did it. It's just the truth, and it sucks. Maybe he didn't have enough time. Maybe that was the plan before he passed away. I know that he had something going on, but what I will say is when he did those Nicki Minaj collabs, when he did those big events, there was no shout out to anybody from the sphere.
It's a categorical lie. Kevin actually shouted me out on Vlad TV after I did the Shahrazad Ali interview. He shouted me out. And I remember him DMing me that he shouted me out after he did the Vlad interview. I think the interview came out several weeks later. But this is just not true. And I'm sure there's other content creators that will have their own examples. Shit, there's other content creator, I believe his name, Obsidian, who became a millionaire after Kevin shouted out his books. So this is just categorically false. And for anyone who just eats this information up, you should know the truth. So again, it's so wrong, it's ridiculous. And at this point, I don't even know why he keeps on bringing up Kevin's name. Let the man rest. But when you understand that Kevin couldn't stand these guys, then you understand where this may be coming from.
And it kills me because like a guy like Donovan Sharp platformed him like 80 times and he never shouted him out. And I always was like, what the hell? Right? And I was like, we're not going to do that. So I think, we absolutely need to stand united and do periodic shows like this. I know.
All right, so this is actually when he addresses on his own channel, he's addressing the comments after it started to blow up. And he brought up another content creator by the name of Donovan Sharp, and you may not be familiar with him. But Kevin's not alive again to speak for himself, but let me try to think through this. Kevin's brand was mostly popularized within black media, where Kevin would ride for fixing things that were wrong within the black community while also giving strength and power to men. But Kevin was for relationships. He was for marriages. He was for bringing people together. Now imagine if he shouted out Donovan and then they go over to Donovan's platform and they hear Donovan saying things such as black is this, black is that. Now, I don't know if he still talks like that, but if your expectation is that because you work with somebody, collaborated, what did he say, 80 times or something like that, for free, unpaid, whatever, just your time, is your expectation is that now because you've done that, now I have to be able to put you on? People would question Kevin's narrative or motives if someone that he puts on is speaking that negatively about the people that he's trying to put together for healthy relationships. I don't even think Donovan would disagree on that. I can understand Donovan being upset after collaborating with him for so much, but if you take a step back and you look at what Kevin was trying to accomplish, I think it would make a lot more sense, logically speaking. And I can imagine what Myron would say, all this, everyone's free speech till I die, motherfuckers, that. You could get mad at the platform and the powers that be, all that you want. But again, if you're trying to make this amount of change within the world, you have to be surgical, strategic. For example, Kevin got a lot of backlash for appearing to go easy on Nicki Minaj when it was brought up on that platform. But do you think Kevin cared about that? No. Kevin wanted to get in. Why? Because Kevin wanted her audience. Go in there, speak to them a little bit more of how they used to be spoken to. That's strategic. You go in there and you start popping off about how stupid or ridiculous some of their mindsets or ideologies on. You think that's going to make change or get them to listen to the things that you're saying? Be the free speech titan that you want to be. Just don't expect everybody to rock with it. Let's go.
I got a little bit of controversy for saying what I said about, Kevin Samuels. But, dude, it's true, man. It's true. Like, you look at someone like Donovan Sharp, right? Donovan Sharp had him on like 70 times, guys. For those of you that don't know,
and then he stopped going.
Sharp Reality. Donovan Sharp's been running that show since like 2016. Like, I think he's at like 1,000 episodes now at this point. He's had Kevin on like 70 times. I didn't know who Kevin was until I saw him with Donovan Sharp. He never shouted Donovan out. Never had him on his show when he blew up. You know what I mean? Loser ass O'Shea, he never had him on, even though the nigga sits there and defends him all day. Never had him on. You know what I mean? So facts are facts, bro. I'll never. And then you say, oh, well, he came on your shit. Yeah, that was before he was like super big. You know what I mean? That was before he was super big. Remember, guys, and another thing too, little thing for you guys, for people that don't know. Fun fact.
It's actually odd because by the time that Kevin came on Fresh and Fit the first time, they were referring to him as the Godfather. So he's saying he's not super big, but by then, I think Average at Best already happened. And he also talked through how O'Shea didn't get put on his platform. They were working together behind scenes. O'Shea had his team editing a lot for Kevin. But nevertheless, I'm pretty sure that he mentioned O'Shea at least one time, but it doesn't matter. O'Shea's probably going to react to this so he can let you know his perspective. But blaming the Black Manosphere falling because Kevin didn't put whoever you thought that he should get put on just feels like some victim ass shit. People should be able to stand on their own too, with or without a call out from the top content creators. Would Donovan Sharp even consider himself within the Black Manosphere?
Fun fact for you guys. When Kevin Samuels was going viral for saying you're average at best.
Okay.
Do you guys know that he was in Miami when he was blown up on World Star?
Yeah, he was.
He was in Miami. When he did the show with us, he had just done that episode. And then he came to Miami. He had booked the interview with us before he blew up. This is all facts. Because I remember vividly, I'll never forget this shit. After we did the show, we went to CVS.
Okay.
And he got some Mike and Ike's. And I remember this because he got the red hot chili, the spicy ones, and I thought that was weird. Like, I was like, holy crap, I didn't know people eat Mike and Ike's, let alone the spicy flavor.
Old school black dudes eat Mike and Ike's.
And Mike and Ike's spicy, right?
That's wild.
And I remember when I was walking with him the whole time, He was checking his phone the whole time. Oh man, we're blowing up. Oh man. And I was watching his Instagram blow up.
Yeah.
He had 20K, guys. When he came on our show, I'll never get this shit. He had like 20K. Like a day or two later, a week later, he had 1 million. Or like a couple 100,000. He had 20,000 around the time he did the interview with us, chat. Okay. And he was blowing up that day.
Parabolic.
Because he had just done that interview.
Yep. World star.
So
shout out to World Star.
Yeah. Yeah, he was eating Mike's.
So what does he prove?
Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna speak ill of the deceased.
You are.
But, you know, bro, the truth is the truth, man.
What did that prove?
You know what I mean? Like, he's always gonna go down history. He's still the Godfather, right? I don't got anything negative to say about him, you know, but the truth is the truth, man. And I wanna make sure that before I pass, you know, I'm able to help out my guys as much as I can, if that ever happens, right? I don't want to just leave and, you know, people aren't where they need to be. Like, I want all my friends to win. I want anyone that has worked with Fresh and Fit in the past in the red pill space, we're going to bring you guys up too. Because if they blow up and they surpass us, great. Then we could go work with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's a W for everybody. Like, you look at like Andrew Tate, right? Andrew blew up. And, you know, he didn't retract the ladder. He still works with us. He still shouts us out, talks about us and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what it's about, man. It's about...
Kevin retracted the ladder from you because y'all started to beef. Now, he's previously admitted to calling Kevin the F word behind scenes. And also, it was very odd to me that he's conveniently forgetting one of the first ways that Fresh and Fit went viral was through Kevin Samuels' participation. And I know this because I did a reaction off of it. Now, my reaction video got almost 1 million goddamn views at the time. But it was when Kevin called into the show to address these women that Fresh and Fit had in the studio. Now, the title that I had for this video is Kevin Samuels Demolishes Feminists While Uplifting Men. This debate from Fresh and Fit is masterful.
Phyllis Schlafly, she was on our side. When all this stuff came in, feminism, second wave, feminism, I'm a feminist. I believe in feminism. Feminism is about choice.
No, you really
Excuse me, ma'am. Feminism in its true form is about choice.
Yeah, we don't have a choice right now with what's
going on. You have a choice.
And within this conversation, you actually had one of the people that was in the current live stream, as well as Donovan Sharp as well. And I think this is also the stream where Kevin said the famous words, "After your OnlyFans account, Subway will be hiring." Now, this video up on their channel got millions and millions and millions of views. But did he have to call in to collaborate with you guys? And because of which you got millions and millions of views, millions and millions of eyes. But where is this in your description that he didn't collaborate or help anybody? Anyway, this video has gone on far too long, but I wanted to just be able to address it from my perspective in order to cast a different light off of the things that he was saying. But to end off, I wanted to go over some of the comments, some of the public sentiment that I saw within the comment section of this original video. First off, screw Myron. And didn't say none of this while Kevin was still here. Respect Kevin. May rest in peace the way one would like to be respected if they passed. Follow up to that, well, he did a collab with MTR. This person named Jew Bandit. And I mean, this is the type of people that I guess gets attracted to Myron with a photo of what appears to be a Jewish Myron, yet never shouted them out after or before the fact. That's the point that Myron is making. He used to get more views and followers to then not others agree and have said this numerous times. I saw that a follow-up comment to that said, how did he use them? I'm pretty sure people who follow MTR also followed Kevin, and where he responded, bro, are you serious? What's this video about? I come in and say, you're wrong. To Jew Bandit, at which Jew Bandit responds, I was wrong in what? He didn't shout out MTR. Even when you give people the truth, and that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this media shit, is that people will take their inherent biases to believe what it is that they want to believe. And even when the person that is involved in the situation is telling you, you are wrong, they're still going to find any and every reason to believe what they want to believe. And that's why I'm going to leave this video here today. I've talked about this for far too long within this video, but I thought that I'd give ample time to go over the reality. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Guys, write me your comments down below. I'm sure that the comment section is going to be lit up with reactions in regard to this. Leave the legacy of those that have passed away. It's actually super crazy that he's saying all of this unchecked, but it would be not right for me to continue to let a perspective of the reality, especially when it revolves with the legacy of Kevin, because I was friends with Kevin, to go unchecked, especially if it's just flat out false. Last but not least, join my men's self-development community. Link to it down in the description box down below. If you have a focus on getting your finances correct going into the new year, I suggest that you tap in. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
You is ratchet as they come. Rainbow weaves and bat wing lashes, weighing more than a man. What time is your football practice? I bet you can hit that A gift like a mug. How you big back it? Said a man must buy you gifts. Where here goes a Fitbit tracker. Are you mad? Cause you got 3 kids by 4 different dads. You pick cookies, then you bash. Oh man, when you get sad, then